It's mostly science and fiction. Mostly.
Okay, so this is more of a recap than an explanation video, as there are not too many plot twists and shit going on, but I will try to clear up some of the mess anyway. Let's start by playing Dead or Alive. So let's go with the original cast first. At the start of the series in episode 1, we know for sure that Madison, Travis, Alicia, Nick, and Luciana are together and alive, at least for now. In episode 2, we then see that Strand is still kicking about at the hotel, but is exiled after lying a whole bunch. Classic Strand. In episode 3, Strand wanders about for a bit and ends up in that big old dam where we meet a bunch of randos from his past, but more importantly, he meets good old Daniel, the torturer. Thought to have died in a house fire last season, the big reveal is that he didn't in fact die, but escaped, and later, while escaping some wankers, he fell into the sewers, which led him to the dam. He is a little crispy, but otherwise seems to be in good health. A bunch of shit happens, then in episode 7 we learn that Ophelia, Daniel's daughter, is still alive as well. She was last seen in season 2 making it across the US border when an unknown American holds her up and says, "Welcome to America." I can't do an American accent. I'm not gonna. Well, now welcome downtown America. No, I can't do an American accent. Anyway, we later learn who this man is. So that's sort of the, I guess, original cast. Everyone else died in season 2. Yay! We are also introduced to a bunch of new characters. Most notably, we meet Troy, the psychopath at the military/border base. We also meet his calmer and more stable brother, Jake. Hey, that's my name! We then meet Jake and Troy's father, Jeremiah, played brilliantly by Dayton Kelly. Dayton Kelly? I don't know how to say his name. You may recognize him from Sons of Anarchy, amongst other roles. What an amazing performance, by the way. He is the ranch leader and a doomsday prepper. Just so yeah, the doomsdayers got it right, I suppose. Kinda makes you want to stock up on beans, hey. Fuck, I love beans. I'm gonna get some beans after this. We also get introduced to Calteca Walker. I don't know if that's how you say his name. Fuck, I'm fucking shit with names. Anyway, he's the leader of the Native American group who are claiming traditional ownership over the land that Jeremiah built his ranch on. More on that in a bit. Lee, aka Crazy Dog, is his right-hand man, and he's an overall badass. We also meet some lesser characters such as, and by lesser I mean, you know, they don't have as much screen time, such as Ephraim Morales. He's this homeless man, I guess, an all-round good guy, and I guess everyone's homeless now, but I mean maybe formerly. And we meet Lola Guerrero. I can't do names. She's a freedom fighter come secret water Robin Hood spy thing, and there's plenty of other newbies who we meet throughout the show. There are a few other characters that will play a role that we meet later on, but these dudes are pretty much all we need to worry about for now. So at the end of season 3, who is dead or alive? Alive, dead, alive, 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 dead, 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 alive, alive, dead, and dead. To be fair, we don't know if Alicia, Strand, or Luciana are alive or dead, as their whereabouts are unknown. But as the rule states for most shows, especially The Walking Dead, if you don't see them die, they are probably not dead. On that note, fans suspect that Troy is not actually dead, but based on that head wound and the fact that we last see him in a room filling with water with his brains leaking out, I think it's safe to say he's fucking totally dead. Which is kind of sad, because even though he was a nutcase and totally deserved to die, I kind of really liked his character, and he was very well performed. I kind of want him to still be out there fucking shit up. But anyway, yeah, nah, he's dead. Also, is Travis actually dead? Well, people, conspiracy theorists are like, no, he's still alive. We didn't see him die. But he was shot in the neck and the blood was pulsating out, so it's probably arterial. He was also shot in the guts, which spewed his intestines out. He then fell from an unsurvivable height. As one of the characters said, no one could survive a fall from that height, especially with their guts hanging out. Also, this happened in episode 2, and 14 episodes later, we still haven't seen any sign of him, except for that weird dream sequence. I think it's safe to say that he is dead. I really hated to see Travis go, as I'm a massive fan of Cliff Curtis. From pedophile uncle in Once Were Warriors, to freedom fighter in Three Kings, to rapey hired killer / body disposal Latino dude in Training Day. Good old Cliff, you know, he can fucking do anything, man. Like, what a tremendous actor. So yeah, it sucked he was killed off. But if they did bring him back now, I would be even more upset, as I wouldn't be able to accept the fact that he somehow survived that fall and didn't succumb to all his wounds. I wouldn't mind if in this show, or in shows in general, if they once in a while brought back someone you thought 100% was dead, and they had an amazing and unbelievable tale to tell of their survival. But do this too often, and it's just not fun anymore. So, sorry you had to die, Travis, but please stay dead. So what the fucking fuck happened, man? Let's start with the feud that our trusty gang stumbled into. Jeremiah Otto was a doomsday prepper and predicted the fall of American society and democracy. He and a bunch of like-minded, white people, got together and stocked up on weapons, ammo, fuel, and food, and they started a little commune they called Brokejaw Ranch. Otto did predict the end of society, but he certainly did not predict the zombies. Anyway, seems better off because of it. His two sons, both from different mothers, are his right-hand men and grew up on the ranch. Troy has always had a hard time fitting in and was always a troubled young man. Otto gave him a mission to man the military base / border patrol station, presumably to keep out all the Mexicans. Yeah, it's no surprise that Otto and the gang are a little on the biggity side, but Troy was most likely sent away from the farm because of his lunacy that made the settlers very uneasy. We meet Troy brutally murdering innocents in the name of science. Sound familiar, Japan? But his research totally didn't justify his means, especially as later on in the series his brother gets bit, and when pressed, Troy really couldn't tell you how long it was going to take for Jake to turn, thus rendering his research totally pointless. But we already knew this, and the reality was that Troy was really just satisfying his own sick and sadistic tendencies. Anyway, good old Madison sorts him out quick smart, and they all end up back on the ranch. Here we learn of Caltech Walker, or however you say his name, and the troubled locals. Long story short, Otto built his ranch on supposed Native American land, specifically the land belonging to Walker and his ancestors. I mean, technically, if you go back far enough, isn't all of America Native American land? Whoa! Leave your angry comments below. We later find out that Otto also killed Walker's dad, which is possibly the main reason why Walker wants the range. I mean, it's a petty revenge grudge, I guess. I don't know. Either way, Walker and the gang are coming, so everyone prepares for battle. A bit of shit goes down, and Madison and Nick kill Otto, Nick mostly, and Madison fakes his suicide. Then Walker's crew move into Brokejaw Ranch, and they all live happily ever after. As if. Before all that though, Luciana fucks off. She's had enough and doesn't feel very safe here. Nick is tired of running, so he sticks around, and sadly, the two lovers depart. Back at the dam, Daniel kills a bunch of meanies, and the dam falls under control of Lola and Ephraim. After Otto gets splattered and Walker and his people move into the ranch, Troy gets exiled for being a dickhead. Classic Troy. We also learn that the local water supply, the reservoir, is drying up, and they have roughly 6 weeks left of water. Oh no! Madison and Walker head to a known mega trading hub in order to strike a deal. There she is reunited with Strand. So earlier, Strand and Daniel left the dam in search of Ophelia, Strand's last bargaining chip with Daniel. After calling Strand on his bluff, Daniel left Strand to die in a pack of zombies. He escapes, which is what he's pretty good at, and ends up at the trading hub El Bazaar, which is run by a biker gang known as the Proctors, led by Proctor John, but more on that later. Strand ends up in debt with the Proctors, and Madison pays his debt by stealing Walker's gold, the very gold they were going to use to trade for water. Walker is pissed, but Strand convinces them that they can make a deal with Lola at the dam, a near infinite amount of water, so they pack up, leave El Bazaar, and head for the dam. The aim was to trade cattle and guns for water, at least until the rains come. Lola is convinced that they don't need the guns and turn down the trade. Strand rigs a car to explode and then lies, saying that the people call her the Water Queen, or down with the Water Queen, down with the Water Queen, and they're gonna uprise soon against her, and the explosion was just the first step. In order to keep distributing water to the people, you first need to defend the dam. Lola reluctantly accepts the deal, believing this to be the best course of action. The gang heads back to the ranch with a big old truck of water. Meanwhile, fuckhead crazy Troy finds a grenade launcher and has been directing a massive horde of zombies towards the ranch. His reasons, they don't really matter. He's just an angry little dick knob and a total loose cannon. Nick and Jake find him and slap him about a bit. They then try to redirect the horde, but it's too late. Jake gets bit and dies. Aw, sucks for Alicia, as she and Jake were totally banging each other. Oh well. The horde attacks, and the ranch crew fail to barricade and fail to redirect. They are overwhelmed, and a bunch of them end up hiding in the food/arms bunker. But oh no! The vents are not working, probably blocked, and they are running out of air. Crazy Dog and Ophelia try to unblock it, but it's too late, and everyone dies except for the plot conveniently Alicia. Just as you think it's all over, mighty Madison and Wild Walker rock up with Nick and Troy and shit and save Alicia. But everyone else is fucking dead. The ranch is lost, and so the few remaining survivors take off. Magnificent Madison decides that they should all head back to the dam, but the brooding Alicia is like, nah, fuck that, eh? And decides to head off alone with intent to chill in the cabin in the woods that Jake told her about. Troy and Nick lie about Troy's involvement in the destruction of the ranch, so no one really knows that he's responsible, but pretty sure Walker's going to kill Troy, so Nick, feeling a little bit of sort of camaraderie with Troy, they decide to follow Alicia, and they say to keep her safe. And so they fuck off too. Now, poor old Madison, she's lost her entire family, and at this point I'm like, fuck all you cunts. Just stick together. Jesus fucking Christ, stick together. Anyway, they don't. Turns out Ophelia got bit and she dies just as she gets reunited with her dad. Bummer, dude. Daniel kills her. Well, the zombie version of her. Despite this, he allows the gang to return to the dam. Anyway, a few fluffer episodes take place and we learn that the biker gang, the Proctors, are planning to attack the dam and take it over. Upon hearing this, Walker and Crazy Dog are like, yeah, nah, fuck this. They heard that some of the people went north and so they bail on the dam and head off back to their native lands. Earlier, Nick and Troy meet Alicia. She's like, nah, fuck off, I'm all good. So Nick and Troy head back to the dam. Alicia makes a new friend, but a friend gets hurt. One thing leads to another, and she ends up in quite deep water as she ends up assisting in Proctor John's surgery, the leader of the biker gang. She then ends up more or less enslaved to Proctor John, because, you know, he's a real bastard. The Proctors attack the dam with help from bloody fucking Strand. That's right, we learned that Strand made a deal with the Proctors. He would assist in the capturing of the dam, and when the dust settles, he'd be put in charge of it. Classic Strand, always looking out for numero uno. Kinda. A part of the deal was that Madison and friends get to live as well. So that's nice, good on you Strand, you're a fucking bloody top bloke. Ephraim gets shot a bunch of times, including right in his face. So yeah, he's dead. Strand and Daniel get into a bit of a thing and Strand shoots Daniel right in his face. Troy confesses to Madison that he was responsible for leading the horde to Brokejaw Ranch, which ultimately resulted in the death of a whole bunch of people. So Madison smashes him with a hammer right in his face. So yeah, he's dead. A big showdown happens between Nick and the Proctors atop the dam. Lola finds a dead Ephraim, freaks out and goes on a bit of a rampage. She gets shot right in the face. So yeah, she's dead. And earlier, the gang rigged the whole dam with explosives so that if they can't hold off the Proctors, they would blow the dam, releasing the water to the people as opposed to having it controlled by the brutal bikers. So now Nick has the detonator, which he then uses to threaten Proctor John, allowing his family to escape on a little boat. But he doesn't give them enough time to escape as the Proctors start pressing him. But then bang, 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 Walker and Crazy Dog are on a grassy knoll nearby, and Crazy Dog starts sniping the Proctors. Bloody old mate Daniel is still alive, tough son of a bitch. The bullet went right in and out of his cheek apparently. He gets on the bridge and starts mowing cunts down. Bang, 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 bang. Nick flicks the switch and the dam explodes, releasing the water and sucking the boat with Madison and co through the hole into the flooding lands below. Oh no! Proctor John and the remaining gang flee the scene. I'm sure that's not the last we'll see of them. Daniel grabs Nick by the shoulder. We presume they escape the crumbling dam, and Walker and Crazy Dog head north, presumably to find their people. Madison's weird dream sequence ends, and we see her washed up on the shore with the Mexican people, desperately filling up the containers with water. Madison is clearly alive. As for the rest of the gang, who bloody knows, mate? Not me. That's for bloody sure. So that's pretty much the end. So why did Walker and Crazy Dog stick around? Maybe Walker felt a connection with Madison, knowing her to be genuine and true and wanted to lend a hand without jeopardizing his own life. Crazy Dog would have simply followed Walker's lead. Knowing there is nothing more they can do to save them or help them in any way, they leave to find their people. I mean, it's all about priorities, really. I hope we see more of these guys. I really, really like their story arc and their characters. I want to see what happens. Anyway, what the fuck is up with Madison's weird dream sequence thing? Well, nothing. It's simply a thing that many shows do to leave fans guessing and debating. Are they the graves of all the people that actually died? Some of them are dead, some of them we never see die, some of them we know are not dead, so yeah, I wouldn't read much into it. It's probably just a visual display of the emotions running through Madison's mind. Later, when things play out in whatever way they do, nerds and fans will attach meaning to the dream, but in my opinion, I think it's just there to fuck with the audience. Who gives a shit? It's a fucking dream. As much as I love this show, if you know anything about me, you know I fucking love zombie shit, so as much as I love this show, I'm still going to say it's not really that complicated. It's not that clever. It doesn't think that far ahead. Don't worry about the dream sequence. But I do love the show, and Fear the Walking Dead is coming back for Season 4. Hooray! But of course not till next year sometime, with an official premiere date yet to be released. There is also a bit of hype about a Walking Dead Fear the Walking Dead crossover, as a showrunner from The Walking Dead, Scott M. Gimple? Gimp? He's I don't know. Fucking names. He will be joining as an executive producer on Fear the Walking Dead. People think we will now get some sort of crossover, which would be cool, I guess. I don't know, who cares? Except that, you know, the timelines are way, way apart. Oh well, we might get some sort of odd cameo or event or something, who knows? Who cares? It's just a show. Thanks for watching, dudes. Check out my podcast, or my band, or my other videos, or none of it. Just be happy and sexy.